You are now listening to Sports and Stuff, live Fridays from 12 to 1 p.m.
The only place where two college students join together to create the Kings of Sports.
What is up, Sportscast? Welcome to the Sports and Stuff show, the Kings of Sports. I'm Carter.
I'm Adam.
I'm Gabe.
And let's get right into it.
You had one job. I even highlighted it for you.
In blue.
What? Okay. Just to give you guys context, we made a whole big ordeal on what color Gabe would be, so he wouldn't miss out on his one intro line.
I got promoted to blue too.
Yeah, you know what? You're going back to green. Going back to barf green. Oh my goodness. Wow. You had one job. Back to barf green. You go.
He still answered quicker than I did on the last Zoom one because my mic wasn't working.
I forgot about that. Oh, man. Yeah, I was just sitting there just like, okay. Man, way to start off the episode. All right, for this agenda for this episode, as you could tell, we are on Zoom, but we'll get to that. We have weekly updates. We have Boise State basketball. Steph Curry breaking the 3-point record. Yeah. Bryce Young in the college football playoffs and college football. NFL news, playoff race, MVP race, and what's your wager? The best game on the planet. All right, let's get into it. For weekly updates, like we usually start off with, we are having our episodes over Zoom. Woo! You can see our faces, our very ugly faces. And
speak for yourself, bro.
Oh, wow, you got to do me like that. You know, I had to decompliment you guys to decompliment myself, you know. Okay. I had to group you guys with me in my ugliness.
Understand.
So I felt better, you know. But you just had to throw me under the bus there. I see that. So we'll be posting those on YouTube, and they will be going live on YouTube, and they will also be going on other podcasting platforms as well, like normal. They just won't be going live on the Pulse for Christmas break until I think it's like 3 or 4 weeks.
I think 3 weeks after this. So this one and then 3 more will be on Zoom.
Yeah, something like that. I have no clue, honestly. I just know we're doing it on YouTube, so we'll be doing it on YouTube until further notice, I guess. Gabe will be joining us for these episodes as well over Zoom. Yeah, he wrote an article over the Pittsburgh Pirates. That article is really, really cool. I really like that article.
It was my best article and my worst.
My only, but isn't your only article?
It's my only one.
Yeah, I mean there isn't much competition there. So yeah. And also, I forgot to leave this out because I kind of half-baked the weekly updates. But TikTok, guess what? We're booming.
Once again.
As always. We hit
the views
4.3.
The views are crazy right now.
Dude, I don't know why. We keep on getting like constant updates.
The volleyball video has 463,000 views.
Dude, I have no clue. And I was talking to Carter about this. Of all the videos, I did not expect that one to be the one video to almost reach 500K. Let's just put that out there.
There's a chance to hit 5K by the end of the year, man.
Yeah, well, okay. Before I did the math, we had to get 40 followers per day. And then that steadily decreased to 39. And now it's 38. So if we get 38 followers per day, we will hit 5K on TikTok. And that's our goal. I even have it on the whiteboard over here, but you can't really see it. You can just kind of see the whiteboard, but you can't really see what's written on it. But it says goal 5K on TikTok by December 31st. So let's hopefully reach that goal. Some of the last videos have been actually doing pretty good. Like the one video where it's this dude getting absolutely hammered by like 20 players. It's so funny. Let me show this. It's this video. You can't even see it with the lighting. This dude gets straight up wrecked, like by all of his teammates.
Oh yeah,
dude. That one got like 20K, and the other one got like, I don't know, probably like 20K as well. But yeah, we're booming on there. Instagram content. I kind of forgot about the Instagram. I try to post every single day, but I kind of forgot. And also YouTube, we'll still be getting that. Hopefully, Devin will be doing the YouTube, but we have no clue. But yes, I think that's all the weekly updates. I don't know if you guys have any.
I don't have anything.
Also, we finally hooked up Carter with his first hoodie. Yeah,
Then
today. We also signed
there we go.
we also signed some merch as well, for our biggest fan, NJ. Yeah, we also got that sent out. I think it should be coming in a couple days, but that was pretty cool. We had a dilemma over signing it, which
We didn't know where.
I know it took us like 20 minutes to decide, and then I was kind of
Yeah.
like, you know what, screw it, let's just sign it somewhere. And then so hopefully he enjoys that. Hopefully it doesn't wash out. That's my biggest concern, is like he just washes it once and it just like disappears.
He's a stud, bro. We can sign it every wash.
Yeah, we'll fly over to wherever he lives and re-sign it for him. Instead of send him merch every single time he washes, so he doesn't
Right.
wash it. Man. Oh, okay. On to Boise State basketball. So Boise State basketball, the men's team, we kind of had a bounce back.
Little
I
bit.
was kind of doubting the team, not gonna lie. We went on a 4-game win streak. We're now 7-4. We beat Prairie View A&M. That game was actually very concerning at the beginning. I was actually at that
Yeah,
game.
you texted me and I looked and it was like 15-14 or something against the 0-9 Panthers. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
kidding.
Man, it was pretty bad. And I even said, Carter was like, it's probably going to be 50-30. And I'm like, if they score only 50,
Yeah.
I'm writing a bad article on them. But luckily they scored double what Carter expected. So that was, dude, they sent him to the free throw line like 50 times in that game. It was like 3 away from like a record or something like that. Because we sucked so bad that they're like, you know what? Maybe we can beat them.
That
if
was
we
probably
send
their
them to the
best
team."
chance,
That
honestly.
was probably their best chance. And okay. Also, this is a side tangent. So I was at the press game or the post-game press conference, and I asked Leon Rice a question, and he absolutely grilled me. And I'm like, wow. I don't want to specifically say what I said, but okay. I said, he, in one of the press conferences, he said the very first part of the schedule was very hard and the very end was very hard. So I just assumed that since the end and the beginning were easy or hard, the middle would be easier compared to the beginning. But he didn't like that wording. So he sort of grilled me for like 5 minutes over in front of every other like media journalist
Next
too.
time
Like,
you gotta ask him about his son.
ask him, yeah, so your son is your son and he's playing like he is. So please elaborate.
Right.
Man. Yeah, I should just get him back. Hopefully he's not listening to this. Man, if I don't get fired by the end of the show, like but with what I said last week, with what I said right now, man, that just
We're
shows.
allowed to have opinions, all right?
Yeah, those that I said last week, all my opinion. Didn't get that from any inside
here we go
source that I
again.
have. But yes.
Read the stats.
So Abuki Jab had 32 points and 10 rebounds, which was pretty. It was 1 point away from tying his all-time record. Marcus Shaver had 20 points and 8 rebounds. He was lighting it on fire. He was all over the court.
He's so fun to watch, man. He's so
dude,
quick.
Okay, he looks. Is it just me? He looks just like a Damian Lillard, like a Walmart Damian Lillard.
Like actual looks, or like looks like it on how he plays.
His looks.
Okay,
looks like
maybe. I don't
Damian
know. I
Lillard.
haven't seen him up close. I was gonna say he can't shoot like Dame, bro. Well,
I mean,
he can shoot. He can shoot
tries to
better than
shoot
Dame
like
this
Dame,
year.
but like, yeah, he shoots he tries to be like Dame, but he looks just like Dame. His like face, his hairstyle, he looks just like him, and he even like kind of has the same humor as Dame too. It's kind of crazy. I don't even know.
Yeah, kind of.
Dude, he reminds me just like Dame. He's just like a lighter skinned Dame. But
Dame's pretty light, but all right, whatever. Go ahead.
Also we beat Santa Clara yesterday, and that was pretty crazy. Not gonna lie, that was a very tough opponent. Weren't they 7-1? Something
They're
like that.
7-4.
7-4, but it's still pretty insane. Insane opponent. 72-60. Mladen Armas had 17 points. We haven't seen much of him this year.
He played
had
awesome
12
yesterday.
rebounds.
I was at the game. He was really, really good.
Seriously, yeah.
He was a big part of a run. It was the early second half we really pulled away and started hitting some threes, and Armas was just dominating the paint on both sides.
Man, he also got some points because Abuki jabbed and got 16. didn't hog the ball. Tyson Degenhart had 18
Whoa,
points.
whoa.
Rebounds.
Are we slandering Abu right now?
No, I would never do that.
Yeah, don't.
I'm not doing
He's
that.
a stud.
That's definitely not what I'm doing. Tyson Degenhart, he had 18 points, 6 rebounds. He had 30 points the last couple games. Last game he had like around 20, 18 maybe. And this game he has 18. He's kind of cooling down a little bit, but I definitely think he's going to pick up. It
He's
seemed
still
more
playing
like
he's still playing like the best
great.
player on the team though.
Yeah,
Like he's really good.
I honestly think it's between him and Ibuki Jab. So
yeah,
he's been playing great for a freshman too. Like you gotta give him some credit there.
Right.
Next up is the home game against Montana Tech on Sunday and against Washington State in Spokane on Wednesday.
Spokane?
Yes. Yeah, is that not how you say it?
No, Spokane. You've never been to Spokane?
No, I call it Spokane. I've never been to Spokane, but if I were to go to Spokane, I'd call it Spokane. You can tell which ones are from Washington here and which one isn't.
It's just wrong. It's just like it's literally incorrect.
Spokane.
Whatever. Go ahead.
I don't know what you guys are talking. I don't know why you guys are so passionate about how I say Spokane, but
I lived there for like 13 years, bro. I think I know.
Dude, that's pretty crazy that you lived in Spokane. That's like a Spokane level.
This is as bad as your Chiefs takes.
What do you mean? My Chiefs takes are great. I feel like I'm most confident about my Chiefs takes.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I'm more confident about my pronunciation of Spokane as equally as my Chiefs takes.
All right. You want to get to Steph Curry now?
Yes.
Okay. So Steph Curry broke the all-time three-point record. He's now at 2,977 three-pointers made in his career, passing Ray Allen. And it actually took him over 500 fewer games than Ray Allen to set that mark. He's on pace to shatter his own record for three-point made in a season, which was 402. I mean, he's got to be the front runner for MVP right now. He's on a team with an elite record. He's playing at the top of his game. He's setting records. He's got to be the front runner right now. So it begs the question, where does he rank all time as of now? Like as a point guard and overall, does this accolade put him over anybody that he was behind before?
You want to go first, Gabe?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'd say this would. So I might be considered somewhat of an old head, at least for my takes. I think what he did, it finally put him over Oscar Robertson all time for point guards. I think it put him over Shaq all time as well. I'd say Curry is a top 10 player all time. I think he finally got into there. We can talk about Magic and how he stacks up against him, I guess, too. I mean, can I get into that then?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
To me, that's really the only I already had him above every other point guard besides Magic. So this for me is he's definitely inching closer to Magic. I've been maintaining that Magic's won, but I'm getting less and less confident.
Now, I would actually say I don't think there's really a good shot that Curry does that.
Ever.
So, okay, let's say everything goes right this season. Let's say Curry wins MVP. Hell, let's even say that the Warriors win the championship. So at least for the championship debate, Curry's still one behind Magic. He ties Magic in MVPs. Something that's kind of strange to me is that Magic never missed the playoffs. And obviously it's a team accomplishment, but for Magic to be part of that team and a big part of every single one of those teams, it's still pretty impressive. Curry's never won a finals MVP. Magic has 3 of those, and Magic has 9 All-NBA first team appearances compared to Steph's 4. Now, I know Steph still has probably a few more years left in him, but I don't think he's reaching 9. Magic has 4 assist leading titles. His offensive and defensive win shares are well above Curry's, and they've played the same amount of seasons. So as much as I want to say Steph maybe has a shot, because it's kind of pessimistic to say, I mean, he's still an active player in the NBA. How is he going to pass? Like, how is he not going to pass Magic? I think Magic has done so much in such a short span of time. I think it's going to be really tough for Steph to ever overtake him for that.
I think that's a solid argument. I don't know, man. Steph changed the game more than anybody in the history of basketball. And he's just incredible. Okay, I'll give you the defensive side of the ball. He can't hold a candle to Magic. But I do think that he is an underrated defender. I'm not saying he's a good one, but the narrative that he's a swinging door on defense just isn't true. I'm trying to see how many times he missed the playoffs, but he only played 5 games in 2020, and he only played like 25 back in 2012. So if he missed the playoffs those seasons, that's not really on him. But and he also got robbed of a Finals MVP. No way in the world Iguodala deserved that. Not a chance. He got it for stopping LeBron when LeBron averaged what, like 35, 8, 8 in that series or something.
And
So I think he should have one.
yeah, I mean, for me, I definitely think he got robbed out of finals MVP. And I mean, the fact that he didn't get the finals MVP for the ones that he played, and it's kind of, I feel like it diminishes what he did because he played really great in all of those finals. It's just he wasn't awarded the trophy. So it's like,
Here we
I feel
go.
like that kind of diminishes him a bit.
I found it. I lowballed LeBron, actually. He averaged 36, 13, and 9, but Iguodala got the finals MVP for stopping him.
Yeah, but it's like, I definitely think that Curry should have won that one. And I think realistically, so I know they're both point guards, but like it's kind of weird comparing Magic to Steph Curry, in my opinion, because they're two different types of point guards.
Very.
Where Magic was more of a traditional point guard, and then Curry's more of a shooting guard where he shoots the lights out and he's a smaller. Magic Johnson was huge. Like, I feel like it's different. And especially because Curry kind of shifted the game to more of his point guard style, where it's more of they want to shoot, they more want to kind of have like that swagger of hitting deep threes and everything like that. So, I mean, you got to give him credit with that. I personally really like Curry. I think he's definitely top 5, or not top 5, top 10. And I don't know, because it's weird because I wouldn't put him over Magic, but like I said, it's kind of weird that they're in the same category where they were two completely different type of players.
Yeah.
Like I
should sit down and write out a top 10 because I can't really decide if I would have him in there right now or not.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because it's like Magic Johnson could play every single position, I feel like, and be good at them.
And dominate.
Yeah, like, and I think with Curry, he's more of like a true point guard, I guess, because that's his only position that he could really play instead of like shooting guard. Like, he can only play those. And it's like, that's why I feel like it's so weird arguing with those two. But I don't know. I feel like we have to lay and say when it's all said and done. And with basketball, we all know that these arguments aren't going to go anywhere, regardless of what you think. Like, even from 10 years from now, we're still going to be arguing if LeBron is better than MJ or if MJ's the GOAT. Like, it doesn't matter. And we're probably going to get someone else who's going to enter that ring. But I heard one person on the Skip and Shannon show, they were talking about if Steph Curry should be, if he wins an MVP and wins out the finals, is he going to be in the new conversation of the GOAT of like with MJ and LeBron?
I don't think so.
You don't
It's
think
got to
so?
be the best of his position first.
Yeah. But I feel like with football, it's more of like kind of dead set, where with basketball, there's so many players and it's so widely, it's more, all the positions are more unique in football, where in basketball, they're all kind of similar in a way, where it's like for basketball, it's more of like it's way more opinionated than who's the best position in football, I feel like.
Here's the weird thing though, all time. I mean, Steph has 19,000 points. Like, he is a little bit over 19,000, but he has 19,000 total points. Like, I don't know, by the end of his career, even if he still hits a ton of threes, like, is he still going to get anywhere close to the all-time scoring record?
Probably not. He's only
Yeah.
halfway there. And he's already 33.
Man, yeah. Honestly,
I mean, he'll hit 20,000 this season, you have to assume. But
yeah, probably. Was it right now?
For the season,
Yeah.
725
Okay.
through 27 games. Yeah, he's averaging 27. Okay. All right. Well, it was an incredible accomplishment, regardless of where you rank him or who he's better or worse than. It's unbelievable. And it is completely undeniable that he's the best shooter of all time.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So let's move on. Let's talk about Bryce Young in college football. So Bryce Young won the Heisman Trophy. He's the first Alabama quarterback to ever do that. He beat out the other finalists, which were Aiden Hutchinson, CJ Stroud, and Kenny Pickett, though there's some controversy over who should have been finalists, but it wouldn't have mattered. Bryce Young was winning that thing either way. Young compiled 4,322 pass yards, 43 touchdowns to only 4 picks this year. They won the SEC championship and are the 1 seed in the playoff facing Cincinnati. And now Alabama has the last quarterback, the last wide receiver, and the last running back to win the Heisman, which is super interesting. So what are your thoughts on Bryce Young winning the Heisman and Alabama's college football playoff chances?
For me, I feel like it was a no-brainer that Bryce was going to win it. My second choice, and he didn't even make the finalists, was Kenneth Walker. I have no clue to this day how he didn't make it. I mean, Kenneth Pickett's nice, but I definitely would put CJ or Kenneth Walker over Kenny Pickett, in my opinion. Like, and I feel like Aiden Hutchinson also should have had a chance, but I feel like it was unanimously Bryce Young. I mean, which he definitely deserves, but it's kind of like we kind of already saw it, I guess, in my opinion. And I feel like just because I mean, he's been playing great, but I think it was more the storyline, and that's what you kind of need to win a Heisman. Is like, oh, Mac Jones left, and they had a great, who's gonna top Mac Jones, and then is Alabama gonna fall, and then they didn't. So I think that's mainly what helped them as well, is the whole Mac Jones thing where Mac Jones left and he kind of picked up where Mac Jones left off, I guess. But yeah, I definitely kind of saw this coming.
Now, I have an interesting take then, probably, because I think Kenneth Walker should have been a finalist. But here's another person I think that should have been a finalist, and I think he probably should have been runner-up to Bryce Young. I think Will Anderson got completely disrespected. To be the leader in sacks for entire college football. Like, usually you have some guy from a MAC or something, usually winning in like receiving yards or something, because they do usually have easier competition. But this man had 15 and a half sacks playing in the SEC. I mean, that's just insane. And well, him and Bryce Young are playing on the same team. They should definitely be favorites to win the national championship. Honestly, I think it's probably going to come down to Georgia and Alabama again, but I like Alabama's odds.
Yeah. I mean, I still think that if anyone has a chance for an upset, it's definitely going to be Michigan. I mean, Cincinnati, sorry, but I don't think they're going to win. I don't think there's really any chance. Am I alone with that?
No, I don't see it. It'd be really, I hope they put up a fight, because just for the future of Group of 5 schools.
Well, I hope they score at least one touchdown.
Right. I mean, keep it within 30, and maybe
30.
Maybe another Group of 5 in the next 5 years will get a shot. But
I think we're gonna play Alabama closer than people are expecting. I mean,
really,
give me Alabama, but I don't know what the spread's opening up at, but
spread's at like 20.
I'll double check. I thought it was 17.
Bama minus 20. 20.
I mean, yeah, if it's 17, I mean, give me Cincinnati in that case. I think we're gonna put up a fight, but I mean, Alabama just has way too much talent at every single position.
It's 13 and a half right now. I'll take Alabama all day.
Yeah,
might have to bet on
that too. Man,
Alabama 2 tuds.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen probably, if I'm gonna be realistic here. But I think it's kind of interesting that Bama, like the last 3 years, has had quarterback, receiver, and running back. Like,
it's not the last 3 years, just the most recent of each position.
Oh yeah.
Well, so like they had Young, they had Devonta Smith, and then
because it was,
and then Derrick Henry.
Yeah, well, because it was Joe Burrow before Devonta Smith, right?
Yeah,
if I'm correct. I don't even remember who was after that. Wasn't it Jalen Hurts?
Well, it went Burrow, Smith, Young. Before Burrow, it was Kyler. Before
Oh,
Kyler, it
yeah.
was Baker. Yeah.
Baker. Dude,
And
Baker had
then
no.
and
I
then
don't think Baker should have won that
Lamar
one.
and then Henry.
Yeah,
So yeah, they have the last
man.
quarterback, wide receiver, and running back, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Not
All
gonna
right,
lie.
moving on to the rest of college football. Lots of recruits signing today. USC is bringing in tons of talent right now, tons of 4s and 5 stars. And we said this when Lincoln Riley got hired. The recruiting is going to take care of itself. I mean, it's USC with Lincoln Riley in the Pac-12. They're going to be legit. And I said this when he signed or when he took the job there. They're going to make a playoff in his contract. They're going to make one because they're going to go undefeated one year. And whether they deserve it or not, the competition in the Pac-12 is. He made a smart move getting out of the SEC before Oklahoma joins there, because Oklahoma's not gonna be great right off the bat. But USC, with all this talent they're bringing in and Lincoln Riley's coaching, they're gonna be legit. I think they're gonna make a playoff.
Mine was kind of funny that these teams in Southern California, like UCLA and USC, almost for like the past decade, they haven't really reeled in those like insane prospects that they used to reel in, which
Right.
is weird because it's Southern California. Who wouldn't want to play there? But yeah, Lincoln Riley finally going to, USC. I think it's finally going to kind of change the tide for the Trojans.
Yeah, you think like a bunch of California players go elsewhere, like Bryce Young at Alabama. He's a California kid. So I think this is going to change that for sure. And it'll be interesting to see what they do at quarterback. I wonder if they're going to hold on to Dart for and ride him out a little bit, because he showed flashes and under the direction of Riley. I mean, we'll see what's possible. But did you have any thoughts on that, Adam, before we move on?
I mean, it's kind of interesting because I think we all understood that he was going to accept that deal. Like,
How could
anyone
you
in their right
not?
minds
How
would have
couldn't
accepted
you?
that. And it had to be because, like, regardless of even if USC was in a hard competition, just that contract alone would settle the deal. But plus, if you could win, go to a couple championships, go to a couple college football playoffs, like especially if they open up the rankings or whatever, open up like the seating and everything, I think it's definitely the right move. Because you have to go through Oregon and maybe Utah now, but like
it feels like they're going to be perennial members of the Pac-12 championship.
Yeah, like Utah was close to making it, and they just beat Oregon twice. Like, I mean, and they beat other teams, but like they beat Oregon twice.
Utah stumbled out of the gate a little bit, and I know me and Gabe have a little bit of a soft spot for Utah, but they stumbled out a little bit, but they caught fire and they just embarrassed Oregon twice, which was pretty crazy to see. So
they only changed one. They only got one field goal extra.
Yeah.
Man.
It was kind of like when the 49ers kicked the Packers' butt in the regular season and then did the same thing to them in the playoff. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit, but
I hate you.
Anyway,
if we remember well, we beat you the last 2 games after that. So
darn, regular season losses. Okay, so Texas A&M.
Important if you won't make the playoffs.
We're gonna make it. Texas A&M is really pursuing the number 1 national class because they are up to 22 4 or 5 star recruits, 18 being 4, 5, 18 being 4, 4 being 5. There we go. They are landing a ton of talent right now, and I think this is Jimbo's 3rd top 10 class, they said. So Texas A&M is reeling in a ton of talent. Deion Sanders and FCS school Jacksonville State landed the number 1 overall recruit in cornerback Travis Hunter, which is insane. An FCS school landing the number 1 player. I was just going to speed through these, but what are your thoughts on that? That is crazy to me.
We were in the sub when this news broke.
Yeah.
And this is insane. Like, what? We all know that was 100% Deion Sanders. But what? After 1 year, Deion Sanders is going to go. He's not going to stay there. He's not going to stay at Jacksonville State. So he's going to have to transfer.
We don't know that.
There's no way. It's either Jacksonville State moves out of the FCS, which is much harder nowadays, or Deion Sanders is leaving. There's no
I
way.
I think I really hope he stays there and just builds that program up. People are going to be attracted, obviously, to Dion coaching, and yeah, I really hope he stays. That'd be awesome.
Well, and I mean, if Jackson State starts dominating again, like they're gonna get moved up to the FBS eventually if they're dominating and they're bringing in these, I mean, 5-star prospects. I also found out that Barstool Sports was not part of the bribing process for Travis Hunter.
I put
The
down
what?
Jacksonville State. Whoops, it's Jackson State.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
there's
it
some
Jack-
rumor
for
going
some
out that,
reason,
like,
I thought it was Jacksonville or Jackson, and you put Jacksonville. I'm like, okay.
Whoops.
yeah, and then there was some rumor floating around that Barstool Sports was paying him and they had a deal in place to go to Jackson State, but was false.
Oh, wow. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, like if that deal was true. Because it's
Well,
like, why
good
not?
for Jackson State and Dion, man. That's awesome, and
That's insane.
it'll be interesting to
mean-
see where he gets drafted after this, assuming he still plays well. Because
Yeah.
obviously, we just saw an FCS player go top 3, but quarterback is a little different than corner. So we will see.
Is it just me or are we getting like I'm getting like vibes of like NCAA 14, like
Yeah.
the video game where you put
Yeah.
like the recruiting on easy mode. And
Right.
it's just like you get all the first star recruits, but it's like there's no way in hell they would go there.
Right.
Like,
All right. The last thing we got college football related is Texas managed to flip several recruits, including a couple from Oregon. And they landed Quinn Ewers at quarterback, who had committed to Ohio State. Obviously, Stroud is going to be their guy. So he's back to Texas as a transfer. And he was the number 1 overall recruit the year he was coming out. So Texas steals a couple high level players from other schools and lands the quarterback of their future. So Texas could I know every year it's like Texas is back, blah blah blah, and then they stink, but this year it feels different.
I mean, I've honestly haven't been keeping track on Quinn because like wasn't he supposed to like sign with some other like league or something like the G League or pickup league of like college football or something like that? I heard something where it was like he wasn't going to go to college. He was just going to sign somewhere else and sign an endorsement deal and play like some like indoor football league or something. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's real anymore, but
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what
not
I heard.
seeing that.
That's what I heard when it was like when he was coming out, and I was kind of confused because it was like a whole thing where like he was one of like the number 1 overall recruits and he wasn't going to college or whatever. He was just going to go straight to like getting endorsement deals or whatever. And it was kind of weird, but I mean, the thing is though, is like these with these quarterback recruits, it's like sometimes they're hit and miss. I feel like, I mean, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. I don't really trust Quinn to be that good. I mean, I know he was number 1 overall recruit, but like, I don't know. I kind of have a feel that he's not going to be as great as everyone's hyping him up to be.
I mean, this doesn't really mean anything, but just a fun little thing here. He is only the 6th player to ever earn a perfect 1.0 in the 24/7 sports rating, and only the 2nd quarterback, the other of which was Longhorn legend Vince Young. So Texas has got both perfect quarterbacks.
Here's the thing though, and I know football's a team sport, but Texas arguably had the best running back in the country this year, Bijan Robinson, and they still went 5-7. And I mean, Quinn Ewers is probably going to help a little bit more, but I mean, I wouldn't say we're going to be like college football playoff level Texas.
Oh, yeah, but there's a big difference. There's a lot of in between what they are in college football playoff. And I forgot to mention they also got 5-star tackle Kelvin Banks. So their recruiting class is really good right now. So if they can't put together a better season this year, then they're hopeless, honestly. And I still can't believe they're going to the SEC. I don't understand why they're doing that.
More publicity. That's basically why.
As if Texas needs more publicity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Bijan Robinson is insane. He's a tank. I really like him. I felt like he was really great. He split his back. I don't know how. Wait, we were just talking about that before we were recording. Did we? Wait, yeah, we were talking about it before we started the episode. The TikTok that I posted, where like he literally had his
Folded.
head, dude, his head was touching his butt. Like, how does he not break his back at that
I
point?
don't
And he
know.
missed no time either. You expect him to at least miss some time, like maybe cracked a rib or something, but he did not. Like, what is? I don't even
Well, that's
know.
all we got for college football for now. We're gonna have bowl games coming up soon here, and I'm sure very quickly we're gonna start talking about the draft. And those of us who are writing will probably put out some mock drafts. So
Yo, yeah, that'd be pretty fun, honestly. Yeah, this is our first off season as the as sports and stuff. There, we're heading over there, and oh yeah, also, did you hear about the USFL?
no.
Both of you, the
Oh,
USFL.
I think so.
It's a new league that's happening, and it's
Right.
Fox that's like making it, and it's going to go in the spring. So we'll have some football content for the off season.
Is this going to be like another AAF thing or XFL
Well,
thing?
okay. The thing
Well,
with
the
this,
XFL's coming back too at some point.
yeah. The thing with the AAF is it was kind of weird because it was it just felt half baked. The XFL was insane because it was
I
like
loved the
they did
AAF.
drinking and they like the XFL was super fun and it probably would have succeeded if COVID didn't happen. But like
I
with
think
the
it would've.
USFL, this was a previous league that happened before. So it was already it already has been made and fans have been wanting it back for a while now. And Fox put in a ton of money. And it's like, if Fox is putting in this much money, they have to be like, and if Fox is even making like a profit or like making a investment into this, you have to expect that they're gonna like want it to succeed and promote it a ton.
Well,
So
and I'm a firm believer in the idea of the NFL having a minor league system because I think that'd be really beneficial to the players.
yeah, I
I
mean,
agree.
yeah.
Although
but the thing is, though,
one thing I hate about the USFL is that their Pittsburgh team isn't black and yellow. So that's just really dumb.
Isn't all their teams black and yellow?
Yeah,
In Pittsburgh,
all of
yeah.
them. And now they got the purple and orange maulers. Like, come on.
yeah.
What are we doing?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't really like the idea of a minor league system because the lifespan of a football player is super short. And if you waste that time on on a minor league team, I feel like that could be very detrimental.
I feel like it's less of a waste on a minor league team than it is completely out of the league, though. Or
Yeah, but, like, you
your
still get a
practice squad,
contract.
your
It's like,
practice squad players, you send them down to play for the minor league team. I think a minor league is a good idea.
Well, let's just not even like say minor league then. What about just like something like the XFL where you have guys like PJ Walker who tear it up in the XFL and then they end up getting these camp invites and they're able to still play on the team.
What if XFL players were allowed to like declare for the NFL draft?
are they allowed to?
That would be interesting.
I thought they were like technically allowed to because
No,
like,
they can go to the NFL, but they can't declare for the draft. But I think that'd be interesting. But
that'd be weird.
I mean, speaking of the NFL,
they have to be. You would
never mind.
yeah. The only thing that would happen, like that would have to make these leagues successful, is staying in the springtime. They can't go head to head with the NFL. Like that's the only way. And that's when everyone wants it. That's when everyone wants the league is like when everyone's dying because they want some football stuff. So it's like, yeah. On to the NFL. Very sad news. Demarius Thomas died, passed away. He passed away on, what was it? Tuesday? Last week? No.
I think it was Friday.
We were talking about it, or like we were talking about something, and then all of a sudden he like passed away. It was pretty sad. Yeah, it was really crazy because he was 33. Thursday. He was 33. He was great on the Broncos. He ended up going to the Texans and the Jets, I think. And he ended up retiring last year and ended up passing away, which is very sad. They made a tribute for him for the Broncos on their very first play. They took out Cortland Sutton and had an empty receiver on the field and took a downtime. And the Lions as they should, decline the penalty. If they would have accepted that penalty, they would have been
Man,
they would have been destroyed.
that would have been
I was-
really bad.
I was thinking about that. Has there ever been a time, because I know some college football teams have done that before and they've lost a player or something. They've put 10 guys on the field. Has there ever been a time where the other team accepted the penalty?
I
Well,
don't know.
I think it was okay when Sean Taylor died. The football team put out
Good
10
save.
players, and I think it was Fred Jackson. I think I'm getting this right, and he ran for like 50 yards on that play or
Mm.
something. And
Bro,
on their
that's
on their
so
Sean Taylor tribute play, he just ripped off a huge gain.
they're like, that's just showing how much we miss Sean Taylor, because if he was
Right.
there,
Right. All respect.
man, that's like,
Rest in
okay,
peace, Sean Taylor, though. I'm still mad
That's-
at Jackson Mahomes.
dude, that was so stupid. That was I'm so mad at the Washington football team for making a half-baked tribute to him. Like, that was so stupid.
They're a poverty organization in every sense of the word,
Dude, well, I saw this one thing, like this
except
one
for
report.
Heineke.
Yeah, I like Taylor Heineke. There's this one report that I just saw. We didn't have this written down, but like they're saying how so Roger Goodell is doubling down on not reporting anything from the Washington. Dude, why Washington investigation?
We talked
Like-
about this on our last Zoom episode, actually, how like Gruden took the
Yeah.
fall for everything, but there's no way in the world he was the only one. There's no
Yeah.
chance.
They're just trying to save face by hiding
Yeah,
all this
they-
stuff.
Listen, Gruden, he got what he deserved. Okay. I'm not arguing that at all.
But everyone else does too if he fell.
right.
I
but
think he's suing too.
They used him as the scapegoat. Like he got what he deserved, but he didn't deserve to be the only person getting it. That's what I think.
Did you hear anything about like him getting suing for like going to
Yeah, he
court
did
about
sue,
it?
didn't he?
Yeah. I don't know how like far into that it is, but I'm pretty sure he is. And I mean, then that's going to force the NFL to open it. I don't know if there's like because NFL's private, so I don't know if like they could actually force them to open it up if it's private, but like
Yeah, he sued the NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell, claiming they sought to destroy his career and reputation through a malicious and orchestrated campaign,
Kind of
which could be true, but he still deserved it.
yeah, I mean, he could win there because if it is true that he's being the scapegoat, that looks bad for the NFL.
I don't think he'll
Like-
win anything. I think that he'll get a settlement and shut up about it.
Probably. That's probably the most realistic. Even if they do, the NFL doesn't want to open it up. If they go to court, they're going to have to open up all the emails, and they know that. So they probably will have to do a settlement. Like, man, this is a whole mess. Like, how did this all happen under our noses? That's the real question.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
But it sucks.
I'm using my reporter senses and my reporter insider experience here. I honestly think people knew about this report well before it got out. It's just that people didn't want to announce it because they didn't want to break their relationships with the team.
They did. I saw something, and we talked about it when we talked about this the first time, how they had the information in June, and then they waited until November to release it. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
think
that's
they knew it well
screwing
before that, too.
over the Raiders organization, players, staff. I mean, it's an injustice to the people who were harmed through it's just, I don't know why they waited. I don't understand it. Do it before the season.
Well, okay, so for like, let's say with me in Boise State, if I have inside information, I can't release it because that would absolutely ruin my relationship with Boise State, and I'm reporting for them. So it's like I can't just go out and just release all this information that I can, even though it would be probably go viral or anything. I just can't release it because that would ruin a relationship, And even with like the MLB with like the steroids that they were using, reports came out that everyone knew about it. They were just afraid to report on it because they didn't want to ruin their relationship with the MLB because they would be out of a job afterwards. Because they're not going to be wanting, the MLB is not going to want to report with them if they're just exposing all their secrets,
Yeah. All right. Well, that was somehow our Demarius Thomas.
I know. How did we
segment.
get from, man? Okay.
Anyway.
And also Chase Claypool taunting. If you didn't watch that, man, Dude, this is ridiculous. Get this clown out of the league, dude. Like, oh my God.
Threw his
just
lineman under the bus too.
Yeah,
know.
right.
Oh,
Like the
dude.
lineman tried to save him and he threw him under the bus. Like, listen, Claypool's a
That-
good receiver and he's
That
just
press conference
not
ruined
very
it.
smart. Okay.
That
He
that
doesn't know how to take any accountability.
that was
Which
fanning the flame.
I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh, but all of their receivers do this. Like, someone
Man,
get Deontay Johnson out of there, please, before this happens to him.
dude.
There's a weird thing too, because Mike Tomlin is kind of a coach that it seems like he doesn't take a lot of crap like that.
Right.
But throughout
Yeah.
the years, I mean, you got like Le'Veon
He
Bell and
has.
Antonio Brown doing crap like this too. Like, it's so weird that on a Mike Tomlin coach team, there's so many just like dramatic events that happen within the team.
I'm so glad you said that because I was just about to say that. Like, we always praise Mike Tomlin for having a solid culture, but it's like, then why is all this stuff coming out? And we didn't hear nothing from Juju and nothing from Antonio Brown or nothing from Le'Veon for their first couple years. And all of a sudden, after like year 2 or 3, we started to hear some chirping. At least for Juju, we heard it after year 2, some chirping and some Twitter going on doing crazy stuff. And it's just weird that like he's letting this happen. Like he's a Hall of Fame coach, like, and he's letting all this stuff happen. It's turning to question how he builds a culture in his team. I feel like,
To be
especially
fair-
since they're going 6-6.
To be fair, Antonio Brown was right about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is Antonio Brown is going. I don't even know.
He was right about a few things, but yeah, overall bad situation.
Man.
But anyway, let's
Can
talk
I say
about
one more-
Urban.
Can I say one more thing?
Wait, we
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't finish
Go
the
ahead.
Claypool thing.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
didn't even
'cause
mention what he did.
Oh yeah, he caught a ball on 4th down and signaled for a first down with like 30 seconds left and no timeouts. He wasted, I would say, probably a good 5 or 6 seconds.
And then he let the ball get knocked out of his hands
Right, and
after
then
he
blamed
didn't
the
want to give it to
lineman.
him.
He blamed
Yeah,
the
and then
lineman
it
who was
rolled.
frantically trying to get back to the center of the
Man.
field and spike it. But
For
and
the
then
Ste-
they would have had another shot at the end because that wasn't 4th down at the end there. They would have had
Yeah.
another shot.
Dude.
It's ridiculous. Well, I
Like-
mean, in the end, doesn't even really matter for the Steelers. This is kind of just a lost season. It's kind of just like the tour of just rolling Ben Roethlisberger's corpse around every Sunday.
Hey,
I mean,
Hey,
Yeah.
he in the second
Ben's been
half,
playing
he was
actually-
dropping some dimes in the second half.
let me drop a
I wouldn't-
crazy stat.
I don't know if I'd say it's a lost season. I mean, they're 6-6-1. They
They ain't
almost
winning a
came
Super
back
Bowl.
and well, no, but I don't think that every season that doesn't end in a Super Bowl win is a lost season. I wouldn't say that.
Okay, so
I mean, I guess in the
this
AFC
isn't a lost season for the Bears right now. They're developing Fields and they're getting their coach out. I think this is a positive season for the Bears, as bad as they are. Like,
Well, how could it be a positive season for the Steelers, man? Because they don't have a rookie quarterback. They're not really. They're kind
Yeah.
of just in like.
I mean,
middle.
I'd be shocked if they don't draft a rookie. I'd be shocked if Pickett or Corral is not a Steeler after the draft this year.
they're probably not going to pick Pickett though because they don't like to pick players from Pitt.
Why
At
not?
least, well, because apparently
Everyone
from
there
a
already
report-
loves him.
Well, that's the thing is like they're afraid of him becoming a bust, and because people in Pittsburgh are cheering for Kenny Pickett, so if he goes to Pittsburgh and sucks, and like they don't want to take that criticism, because it's
Nah,
kind of
I don't think that'll stop him. But I think if Corral's there, they'll go for him. Corral's my QB1. I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but
Well, look,
Yeah.
here's a point too. In the AFC North, it feels like nobody wants to win that division. So I guess the Pittsburgh Steelers do have a shot to
yeah,
still win the
they're
division.
still alive there. I don't know how many
Yeah.
divisional games they have left, but no one's quite dead yet.
Mhm. Well, let me drop a crazy stat right here that you guys probably didn't realize. Did you know Ben Roethlisberger is actually leading the league in comeback wins, like game-winning drives this year?
I did not.
No, what?
I don't
And
know how.
that's crazy because they almost had 2 incredible comebacks against the Chargers and the Vikings and failed
Yeah.
on both.
Like, I think personally, I think the comeback drives is so bloated. I think it's such an overrated stat because it's like you have to get your team in a position where you have to lose or be losing in the fourth quarter by the very end of the game.
I mean, it
to
depends
do
on the
it, but-
context of the game, though. Like, if it's a
Yeah.
shootout and your defense can't stop a thing, then you deserve some credit.
The Bears
Yeah.
one was considered a comeback for Ben, though, right?
I think so.
Okay,
I have
yeah.
no
I
clue.
mean, there were some stupid flags on the Bears' part that got him down the field. I
Were
guess
the
you can
were
still
the
consider
Steelers
that
losing that
comeback.
game?
Yeah,
They
they're
were.
losing.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, they choked a huge lead and then we're down by like
They were
1.
losing,
So
and
I
then the
guess technically
Bears.
that's a
Yeah,
comeback.
I mean, I don't know how he was leading because he looks so bad. Like when you watch him, he looks horrible, but like he's leading
Every
apparently.
week
And
though, every week there's a couple throws that it's like,
yeah,
wow,
he makes them.
that
It's kind of good.
looks
Yeah,
like prime Ben. And
And then there's other
yeah.
ones where he'll like throw instead like
Oh,
escape a sack and like throw it right to the middle linebacker.
have you seen the video where he's like he takes 2 steps and trips?
yeah,
Yeah, dude,
just
that
eats it.
video lives rent free in my head. Just him, dude, it's so funny, man. Okay,
Here we
on
go.
to Urban Meyer, our best friend on the show. We love talking about Urban Meyer. I don't know about you guys. I love talking about Urban Meyer and trashing him. I don't know. I think it's just so funny. He's the most ridiculous coach in the NFL. It's not even
It's
close.
something new every single day, it feels like at this point.
Well, and now
Man.
everything's coming out at the same time.
Man. Well, he thought he was saved from the John Gruden thing. Let's see what coach
Yeah.
gets thrown under the bus now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Bill Belichick or like I don't even know. It's
So
gonna be
he's
Pete
been
Carroll.
benching James Robinson like he benched James Robinson for a opening drive fumble against the Rams, and then continued to keep Hyde in after Hyde fumbled. So that doesn't. Well, actually, it does make sense because Hyde played for Urban Meyer, so I think that's why.
It's got to be deeper than that, though, right? Or is it really just because Hyde played for him?
Hyde played for him at Ohio State, and it really seems like he's had something against Robinson this whole time. I mean, he drafted ETN in the first round, and now is giving Hyde way more work than he should get. I mean, this is a guy who was undrafted last year and came out as a great running back. He deserves better than this.
James Robinson is a stud. I don't know why he's not playing him. And team players have openly criticized him for that. Like,
right, you got your rookie quarterback going over to you on
saying-
the sideline saying we need him in the game like that.
yeah,
He is
like-
to say he's lost the locker room is a massive understatement.
man. Like,
And now
even
this is
last
coming
time-
out. So Josh Lambo, former kicker of the Jaguars, is saying that Urban Meyer came over during warmups for a game and kicked him. So here's the quote. I'll be as direct as I can without, incriminating the show. So Josh Lambo says, I'm in a lunge position, left leg forward, right leg back. Urban comes over while I'm in that stretch position, comes up to me and says, hey, blank, make your blanking kicks, and kicks me in the leg. And then he later said, he's like, it wasn't as hard as he could, but it wasn't a love tap. He said it would be like a 5 out of 10. And you can't kick your player. Like, how is this happening? And then he calls a meeting and calls all his assistant coaches losers at life and demands that they tell him how they've won. And then Marvin Jones, who was like a cool-headed, calm vet who was on the Lions for a long time, so he knows dysfunction. Marvin Jones walked out of the facility over Urban's public and private comments over the wide receiver room, and he had to be like coaxed back by other team members. I mean, Urban has lost the team.
Well,
I don't know how he still has a job. I really don't. I know it's quick, but I think it's time to pull the plug already.
Yep.
Marvin Jones also played on some pretty bad Cincinnati Bengals teams.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so he knows bad teams. So you can't say like, oh, Marvin Jones is a diva. He wants to win. That's not it. Urban must have done, I don't know what he's saying over there, but based on everything else we've seen, it can't be good.
Well, my thing is I'm kind of interested to see how what Justin Fields has to say over Urban Meyer and all the other former Ohio State players. Was he this bad at Ohio State too, and we just weren't putting light on it?
I was just about to say Fields only had him for a year, but then I'm realizing this has all been in like 15 weeks. So that's not a good argument.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because it's like, I mean, Urban Meyer's not a good person. And we all know that. Like, he takes credit for every win that he has and then blames his assistant coaches for every loss that they have. Like, what is going on? He uses like this double standard. He shoves his fingers up women's butts at Ohio bars, and then he kicks his players
right after a loss, by the way.
Yes, what, dude? He's ridiculous. the NFL has to be embarrassed. Like, and man, this is embarrassing. Like, what this? Okay, so it's kind of like a thing right now where it's a debate over whether you should be, if it's worth it to be a college coach over an NFL coach, because it's like you have a higher stage on the NFL, it's more professional, but also in college, it's kind of a different scheme where you still get some publicity depending where you are, but it's weird because you could still get as big of contracts in college like we've seen with Lincoln Riley. But man, this is going to hurt it's going to hurt the NFL coaching, because it's like, why you bring up someone from college who should have been good and they start up having a bad culture, bad morale, being a bad person,
and a bad team.
Yeah, like this didn't. I mean, people probably thought Urban Meyer was going to be good in his first year. I heard some people think that he was going to be good, like especially with getting Trevor Lawrence. But man, this is bad.
What I want to see happen,
good.
I want to see him fired in the offseason, and I think a cool replacement for him would be Kellen Moore.
Dude,
I think that seeing him with his offensive mind, with Lawrence, with LaVisca, with Shark, with Robinson, I think that would be really cool. So I don't know if teams are ready to give him a shot at a head coaching position yet, but I mean, why not?
Dude, if they don't, personally, I feel like they should fire Urban Meyer in a most disrespectful way, because he's disrespected all their players and everything. Like, I mean,
yeah, but if you're an outside coach, you don't want to see that and be like, oh, I want to go there. Like, as funny as it would be, you got to keep it respectful.
You fire him in like the parking lot.
Right.
Well, here's a funny little story. Nick Saban used to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and I mean, he was a terrible head coach in the NFL, which is so weird because he's maybe the best college football head coach ever. I mean, he is a guy who wanted Dante Culpepper over Drew Brees, and Drew Brees wanted to play for the Dolphins. One thing I still find funny, and this floats around the internet, it feels like every single week, is when Urban Meyer used to be on a Fox Sports show for college football, and he was saying the criteria to examine struggling teams: 1, trust issues; 2, dysfunctional environment; and 3, selfishness. He's really hitting on all 3 of those.
Check,
right
check, check. That was really funny.
Man.
All right.
Dude,
well, we
embarrassing.
can move on from Urban a little bit. So have you guys
To another coach?
We can be quick on this one, but have you seen the trailer for the Sean Payton movie starring Kevin James?
This
It
is
looks
easy, Gabe.
so bad.
Okay, I think it's funny. I think it's gonna be funny.
He didn't lose any weight. He doesn't look like him at all. He just put
That's
on
what
a
makes it
visor.
funnier. That's
He
what
just
makes
put
it
on a
funnier.
visor. He doesn't look anything like him.
That's what makes it even funnier.
I'm curious, who's gonna play Greg Williams, and how are they gonna attack the scene where they cover up a bunch of stuff for the church?
Dude, it's gonna be so funny. I can't wait to see this movie. I don't think it's gonna be a good movie. I think it's gonna be so funny, and that's why they got Kevin James. If it wasn't
To be
gonna be a
fair,
funny movie, they got
I think
Kevin
it will
James.
be better than the Kurt Warner movie.
Well, the Kurt Warner movie is
That
gonna be
looks
bad, but it's
so
gonna be a
bad.
serious movie. It's gonna
It
be like
looks
try to be
so
serious.
bad.
Well, my biggest gripe when they try to make reenactments of like the NFL and college and like even any football movie,
It
it
always
just looks
looks so
so
bad.
staged and looks so
Yeah.
stupid. Like just looking at that Kurt Warner thing, his jersey looks it doesn't look real. Like it on the field, it looks so dumb,
Exactly.
especially playing on the field. Like as a player, you could tell that it looks so unrealistic compared to like the real thing, that like it's so dumb. But this Kevin James movie is gonna be good, better than Spider-Man.
All right. We'll talk about these playoff clinchers in the playoff
Man.
picture, but all right, let's move
Did
on
you
to
just
that.
delete all my hard work?
Oh my gosh, you typed out
Deleted.
like 4 words. All right.
What do you mean? That was like 10 words.
The NFL playoff race. It's the same.
You didn't even
as this
paste
anyway.
it. You deleted it and didn't even paste it.
Because
into the
we're about to talk about it right now.
Yeah,
Fine.
but I don't
There,
remember
there.
the teams
It's-
that clinched it.
It's back.
It's back. Okay, thank you. Because I don't remember those teams. How am I going to remember them? Exactly.
Anyway, let's talk about the playoffs. So last week you made fun of me when I said I did the playoff predictor and I had a 4-way tie at the top of both conferences. Well, guess what? Right now there's a 3-way tie at the top of both conferences. So it's not so crazy, is it?
Yeah, but it's not going to stay that way.
You don't know that.
Dude. Well, you also had the Cowboys beating the Cardinals, which is not going to happen.
It could happen.
That's-
The Cardinals
not
just
happening.
showed that they are. You admitted it today yourself. You exactly said the Cardinals just showed that they're not as good as some people thought they were.
Yeah, but it's the Cowboys. Like, come on.
The Cowboys are a good team. Are you denying that?
They're not okay. At the beginning of the year, they looked really great. Now they're showing their flaws. They do not look anywhere near a perfect team.
They've
that
also had
they
No
were
one's a
injuries.
no one's a perfect team. Every team
I
in this
think-
league has a bunch of things wrong with it.
And this is not biased, but I definitely think the most perfect team right now, if you get rid of their special teams, is the Packers.
Oh, if you completely get rid of one of the three phases of the game, okay, you
Well,
can't really do that. The
yeah, but, like,
the
they're the
Patriot. If you have to
closest.
pick one most perfect team, it's either the Pats or the Bucks.
It's not the Pats. It's not the Bucks either.
It's not the Packers.
Okay, the Pats, they can't throw over the middle. They don't.
Yes, they can.
They can't throw a deep ball. They don't trust Mac Jones with throwing the ball deep. They
don't need to
make
throw
him
a
a
deep
game
ball.
manager. Yeah, well, that's
There's
you gotta
nothing
keep-
wrong with being a game manager.
you got to keep the offense. You got to take shots. Sometimes, like, okay, it's great and all to have like a move the sticks every single time, but if a team catches on to that and keeps you up close and starts minimalizing those little gains, you're gonna have to take deep shots. That's the only way.
If
to
it was
keep
that
them
simple,
fair.
I don't think they would have won 7 games in a row.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I
but-
think it's gonna hurt them in the playoffs, though.
It's
I
gonna
mean, it might not
definitely hurt them.
necessarily hurt
It's
them.
a
in the
I
team-
mean,
regular
you think
season,
about
but-
the things that really step up in the playoffs. It's historically, it's the run game and the defense, and they have both of those things. A team like the
I-
Bills, who relies on the passing game, they're not really built for a playoff environment. The Patriots are, and we saw that when they played each other.
Yeah, but I just don't trust the. You were just about to pick the Colts over the Patriots. You're saying
In one regular season game,
yeah, but it's the Colts.
the Colts
It's
are a
the
good team.
Colts.
The Colts are a good team.
The Colts,
Colts-
are hit and miss.
The
every
Colts
week.
were my preseason pick to lose the Super Bowl. So yeah, I like the Colts. It's the preseason, bro. Nobody knows anything.
You thought the Colts? Of
I
all the teams, you picked the Colts.
did. I thought they were going to be really good.
Adam, you'll like this
Uh,
one. You'll like this one. I had the Ravens and Packers in mine.
Well, that's more realistic.
Yeah,
I
Okay.
feel like.
All right, you're not perfect, bro. In 2019, you had the Chiefs and the Bears. All
the
right,
Chiefs made it.
but you had the Bears.
The Bears.
I thought Trubisky would still play well.
Mine. Okay.
See, nobody
this
knows
year-
anything in the preseason.
Mine this year, which still looks very possible, is the Chargers and the Packers. Or no, I didn't have the Packers in there. I had them losing at the AFC or NFC game. I had the Buccaneers and the Chargers. So that looks realistic.
Listen, man. All I know is I picked Niners over Colts in the preseason, and they're both in a playoff spot right now. I'm okay with that.
Dude, the Colts though?
They're
The
hot.
Colts.
They are hot.
Dude, they're no okay. I'm gonna
They're
use
hot.
this. I'm willing to bet that the Colts are not making it to the Super Bowl. They're not even sniffing close to it.
I'm not taking that. I thought you were going to say playoffs. What I would have taken that.
Dude, there's no way. Even in the preseason, I would have told you there's no way.
I wouldn't say no way.
There's no way. I'm telling you right now.
I wouldn't say no
It's
way.
a 0%. I'm telling you, 100% chance that for the NFC,
They're better. They are better than at least 2 teams in the
Okay.
AFC playoff picture right now. At least.
I'm gonna spit facts for a second. There's no
Yeah, okay.
way 100. Okay, the teams that I list for the NFC and the AFC are 100% going to be in the Super Bowl. One of these teams. For the NFC, it's the Packers, the Bucks, or the Cardinals. Those are the 3 teams that are going to be in the Super Bowl. For the AFC, it's going to be the Patriots, the Titans, or the Chiefs or the Chargers. Those are the only. Those
You
teams are going to
think
be in the Super Bowl.
That there's no way the Ravens, Colts, Bills, Niners, Rams, Cowboys make it.
Mm-mm. Not one chance.
That's just wrong. There is a chance.
I definitely think that 100% it's going to
The
be those teams.
Rams just beat the Cardinals. The Rams walloped the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
why
but they're
can't
not
why,
gonna,
why
they're
can't
not gonna
they
make the
why
Super
can't
Bowl.
they make it?
I don't think that I don't trust them in the spotlight of the
The
playoffs.
49ers own Green Bay in the playoffs. I don't know if you knew that or not. So why can't we make it?
What? That was your one fluke year. Like, dude,
1 year. How add in the 2 Kaepernick times?
What?
I'm going to be
yeah, but
honest.
like,
Here, I'm going to be honest. I think I like the Rams the most out of the NFC. I think we're going to build up
Seriously?
momentum at the right time, which is exactly what you want in a Super Bowl contender.
It is. Teams that are hot going
I
into the
mean,
playoffs typically
Mhm.
make runs. You know who's hot going into the playoffs? The Indianapolis Colts are.
dude, they're not. They might not even beat the
Just
Patriots this week.
watch.
They're going to be the hottest team that is.
They might not even be the first seed in the AFC. Darn.
How? No, they have to. The rule one of being hot is they have to be on a win streak. They lose to the Patriots. What type of win streak are they going to be on? They're going to be on a losing streak. They're going to be hot losing
You
streak.
can lose a game and still be hot.
They're gonna lose every other game, and you're going to be like, oh, they're hot.
They've won
Dude,
4 of
there's
their
no
last.
way.
They've won 4 of their last 5 and 6 of their last 8. They're hot.
They're not.
And the two that they lost were by 7 and 3,
Dude,
and they lost to the Ravens by 6.
I think right now, if you put the AFC, the playoff pictures, I think if you make a little bit of adjustments, I think the Patriots could probably beat anyone on that list. And I think the Packers could beat anyone on that list. And I think other than that, I think it gets a little bit shaky.
I
I'm
think
going to be honest.
in reality, I think all these teams can beat all these teams. I think this is the most parity we've seen in the league in a long time. I think any one of these teams in the top 7, except for Washington, on both sides, can beat anyone else in their conference.
Except for
Completely
Washington.
agree.
Wow. I think, and dude, I don't know because okay. This is going to sound super biased because I am a Packers fan, as you could tell. But I've watched a ton of their games and I have seen horrible seasons from the Packers and I've seen decent seasons from the Packers. But I think realistically, this is the best their offense has looked. And this is the best their defense has looked. And they look insane. And I think that watching the Bucks quite a bit as well, watching the Cardinals quite a bit, I haven't watched the Patriots as much, but it seems like they're the most consistent team. And that's what you kind of need is a consistent team. Like, I don't trust the Buccaneers that much. I mean, the playoffs, it's a different thing, but like, because with Tom Brady, he's been the most consistent player, but I don't trust the Cardinals. I don't trust the Cowboys. I don't trust the Rams. I don't trust the 49ers. They haven't shown that they could be really consistent. And I don't think most of these teams this year have shown consistency.
I'll say
And
this. You won't be saying that after the Ravens Packers game this week.
Ooh.
I don't know. If Lamar's not playing, which he probably might not, I don't think it's going to be close. If I'm
Just
gonna be honest,
put 5 down linemen down the entire game and the game's won. We're just gonna throw like screens to Hollywood with nobody blocking and just running up the middle.
Extend
You're telling me
Villanueva.
Tyler's gonna beat the
Extend
Packers?
Villanueva.
They're dude, Tyler's no way. There's no way he's gonna. He could almost maybe get away with a win against the Browns, but the Packers, there's no way.
I mean, the
There's
Ravens, their defense is getting hot at the right time. I'd say Huntley is, I don't know. Huntley's worse than Jalen Hurts, I think, but I don't think it's by that much. I think there's someone.
I like Jalen Hurts.
I agree.
I told you Jalen Hurts had better stats than Lamar Jackson.
I know he
I
had
told
better
Carter
stats,
that.
and I just don't really care.
Man.
He looking at the stats, it's kind of crazy, but he has better stats.
Yeah, it is.
I
It is
really like
interesting
Jalen
that he
Hurts.
has better stats, but he's a worse quarterback.
I
He's
like
a
to
worse.
disagree.
He's
really like
worse
Jalen
at
Hurts.
throwing the ball. He's worse at running the ball.
You can't define Lamar Jackson by his last 4 games or 5.
I mean, okay. So this is going to turn into Lamar Jackson hate. I already know it. But Lamar Jackson, and I've been making this argument from the beginning of the year, he's been putting himself into these situations where he's played terrible at the beginning half of the game, where he's had to make great comebacks to win. And it's like, if he was really great in the start, he wouldn't have needed to blow out, needed to come back from, what was it? The game where he fumbled. Oh, the Colts. That game, he played horrible in the beginning half, and he played horrible, and everyone's complimenting him for the very end half. And it's like, if you played consistently the whole game and been consistent, then he wouldn't have needed to get in that point in the first place.
Okay,
Let's see what's working against. Let's see what's working. Okay. I'll try not to turn us into a huge Lamar Jackson debate, but let's see what's working against him. He has his 2 best running backs out. His offensive coordinator doesn't know how to call plays for him. And he's got 2 tackles.
Greg Roman is mismanaging a mobile quarterback. Really?
What?
No way.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much working against Lamar in that sense, but yeah, I mean, if he wants to try to win playoff games, which he's really struggled to do, and personally, I think it's been for different reasons besides Lamar, primarily. But yeah, I think we can all reach common ground that Lamar really needs to have a complete game in order to, well, hopefully eventually win a Super Bowl.
I want to go back to that point you made, Adam, where you said like he plays bad in the first half, plays good in the second half, and people praise him. At least he played good in the second half. Jalen Hurts against the Giants was horrible. Absolutely
consistency.
Terrible.
He's consistent the whole game.
Terrible. 14 of 31, 129, 3 picks, no scores. And yet at the end of the game, the only thing you're hearing about Jalen Hurts is, Jalen Reagor dropped balls at the end, completely ignoring the 59 and a half putrid, awful minutes from Jalen Hurts. He's not good at throwing the ball. I'm sorry. Like, I liked him coming out of college, but he's not a franchise quarterback.
Let's move on to.
There's a chance he can develop into one, but as of right now, I think the Eagles are still in need of a quarterback. But
they should be.
I disagree, but
Washington didn't beat Dallas, by the way.
I hate you. It was close. I don't even care.
Nah.
Let's move on to MVP race. If you like to take charge, Carter.
All right. So the MVP race, according to oddshark.com, the top 8 are all quarterbacks before Jonathan Taylor slots in. They got Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers as the top 3, with Tom Brady the very heavy favorite right now. So I guess my only question right now is, can anyone catch him?
I honestly think that it's still wide open, in my opinion. I mean, these odds don't show that, but I think it's still wide open, in my opinion. I think Aaron Rodgers is making a great push. I think Josh Allen is kind of falling off. I think Kyler Murray might make a late push. He did have a couple injuries, but I think he might be able to make a late push. I think Matt Stafford also is making a great case. Jonathan Taylor should be number 2, at least. Like, I don't know what's going there.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think any quarterback besides Brady has even any argument.
Seriously?
Okay. Just based on
Aaron Rodgers?
I was about to say that. Based on on-field play, Aaron Rodgers, sir. You know full well there is no way Aaron Rodgers is getting MVP after all that's happened this year. There's not a chance in the world.
Especially with Tom Brady. Everyone likes Tom Brady. Not everyone likes Aaron Rodgers. So
I think Tom Brady might get more hate than almost anybody, but he also gets more love than almost anybody. But anyway, Josh Allen.
Get ref help.
Josh Allen is not playing.
Put the refs on there. Can we get a with Tom Brady and the refs?
Josh Allen is not playing as good as Brady. Kyler Murray
second.
Kyler Murray has no chance. He played awful against the Rams, and he's had injuries and missed time, so that's going to hurt the stats. Mahomes had a rough stretch.
I feel like you'd have a great thing.
Stafford is in the midst of a rough stretch. Jonathan Taylor's a running back. Kupp and Debo are wide receivers. I don't see a way anyone catches Brady at this point. He's the best quarterback candidate by a mile. And quarterback is the position heavily influences that award, as it should, I think.
So as much as you love the Colts, you're not going to say that Jonathan Taylor has a shot at winning MVP?
No,
I mean, said that the Colts are going to go to the Super Bowl. So
I think he would be higher for me on this list, which is crazy because I'm a running backs are useless, quarterbacks are important guy, but I think I would put him. I don't see how you can put Kyler Murray above Jonathan Taylor in the MVP race right now with the time that he's missed, and he came back and played terrible against the Rams. I don't get that.
Well, here's what you got to do. You got to give Brady the MVP, at least at this point in the season, and you got to give Taylor offense. I think Taylor probably has offensive player of the year locked up right now.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say locked up, but I think he has the lead for sure. I think my offensive player of the year would go Taylor, Kupp, Debo in that order.
Yeah. Wait, what? Taylor, Kupp, and Debo?
In that order, yeah.
Oh, here's another fun fact. Cooper Kupp has more receiving yards than the Eagles this year.
than the whole Eagles team.
I love Cooper Cup, man. I grew up watching that dude's games and went out to Eastern because I lived in Spokane, and I told everybody he was going to be good.
Spokane.
I told everybody he was going to be awesome, and I was called stupid. In fact, if by the wildly off chance that Ben Davis ever hears this, he told me John Ross was going to be better than Cooper Cup, and that I was crazy for thinking Cup would be better. Ha! I was right. And it has caused me immense pain that we took Akello Witherspoon over Cooper Cup that year. But
man, feels bad.
Anyway, so we talked about
Sucks to
offensive
suck.
player of the year. Why don't you draft a receiver one time? Anyway,
Wow.
so who are we thinking for defensive player of the year? For me personally, I think it's a two-man race between TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. I think
Give
my
Micah
third.
Parsons some love.
I was gonna say, I think to round out the top five, I don't know the particular order, but I would put Parsons, Donald, and Bosa.
Okay, here's my take on it. Let's see. Who do the Ravens play the next few weeks? Because Alejandro Villanueva is going to give Zadarius Smith a chance. Oh God, we play the Steelers again.
Zadarius Smith is hurt. I don't think he's.
Oh, is he
playing.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been out the whole season.
I mean, okay, well that's not good, but I mean, let's see. TJ Watt plays, and I'm being serious. Like TJ Watt plays the Ravens. The Rams still play the Ravens. I think Watt has a good shot. He's probably gonna get like 2.5 sacks.
Watt has missed some time though. I think that it's probably. I want it to be Watt.
He got hurt during the Vikings game.
I want it to be Watt, but I feel like right, and I think that it's probably gonna be Garrett. Especially after what he just did last week with the
especially after hitting someone with the helmet.
The sack, strip, recovery, touchdown. Like it's pretty incredible.
Man. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree.
I don't necessarily think he should win it, but I really do think Bosa deserves more love for what he's doing on a reconstructed ACL. The dude is playing out of his mind. He's facing one of the top 3 highest double team rates and also is top 5 in pass rush win rate. He's averaging over a sack a game and has come up with them at super clutch times on the first year back from an ACL. I think he deserves more love, but that's just what I think.
Yeah. All right. Do we have anything else to say about that?
I don't think so.
No. All right. What's your wager time? As you know, we implemented this game. We will have fans playing it as well against us. We'll give a shout out to anyone who gets higher than us, and whoever wins gets free merch. So that'll be good. So if you're listening, make sure to do that. We'll have a form filled out. It'll be out today, and we're recording on Wednesday. So it'll be out on Wednesday. So after the show, it should be out. And the wager game of the week is the Texans at Jaguars.
Yes.
So we picked a garbage bowl game. 2-11 teams to pick between those. It's like picking
just
out
to throw
a
it out
black or
there,
a blue trash can.
It was my week to pick, and I picked this on purpose, and I'm very proud of it. So
at first it was the Colts and Patriots, and Carter picked the Colts, and afterwards said the Colts were going to the Super Bowl. But
no, I did not.
Let's rewind that a bit, and then I'm going to cut a little bit and be like, the Colts are going to go to the Super Bowl instead of during the preseason. Just cut that part out.
No.
Yep, I'm the one editing the videos here, so
I swear.
But anyways, Texans at Jaguars. So Carter, if you'd like to say your pick, I mean, I don't want to take the thunder.
I am
away.
wagering 3 points on the Texans, backed by Dave Culley and Davis Mills, absolute studs.
Yep, very confident in his pick, I guess, with 3. I'm not as confident. I'm putting 2 points down on the Texans. I mean, I don't really trust the Jaguars.
Is it too late to adjust my prediction a little bit?
No.
All right, there we go.
5.
He
put up 5 points.
I'm
all
all
5
in.
points on the Texans.
I'm all in.
Why are you so aggressive? You're gonna lose all your points. You're gonna get.
Brandon Cooks is going for 150 and 2. Davis Mills is gonna have a great game.
The Jaguars beat the Texans last time.
They're gonna win by. No, they didn't.
The Jaguars beat. The Jaguars won.
No, they
I swear they did.
They didn't. Won.
The Texans won?
Texans won and picked off Sunshine 3 times.
Man, Dude, I had a feeling. Oh yeah, wasn't that the game that like they absolutely blew out or something like that?
It was like 16 points. Yeah,
Oh, man.
37-21. Tyrod
Man.
Taylor
For
played
some reason I thought they won.
awesome. And Brandon Cooks was awesome. And Lawrence was
Man.
pretty bad. So
Dude, I don't even.
let's go Texans. 5
You
points.
know what? Hot take. Trevor Lawrence is only going to have one turnover. He's going to go over 300.
Only one.
And he's going to have 300 yards, and the Jaguars are going to win. I'm not going to be as confident as Carter is, but I'll take 2 points on the Jaguars.
Okay, there's a point of being confident and just being stupid. Like
This is not stupid. They're the better
you're betting.
team.
Okay, you're betting 5 points.
I'm picking
and
the
plus,
same team as you.
You're okay, but you're betting 5 points on it, and plus we haven't even gotten to your locks yet. So you're probably not even gonna win your locks, and you're gonna lose if you lose this bet, this wager, and you lose all your locks. You're gonna be in negative points.
Yeah, but
you're
here's
gonna
the
be in
thing.
negative.
When
You're gonna make it easy for people to beat you.
When they win all of them, I will have 11 points on the week.
Yeah, but then you're gonna. Last week you were so confident in who was it? The Ravens winning.
I wasn't
And
that
then-
confident. I was not nearly
You
as
put 2
confident.
points, and then you went.
as I,
You're at 2 points right now.
I feel way better about the Texans beating the Jags than I did about the Ravens beating the Browns. I feel good about this.
Oh.
What if
Okay.
James Robinson actually gets used with this game?
I'm,
Oh, it changed.
I
Put
don't
5
think
points down.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But even if it does, I like the Texans anyway.
Man,
This is
I
gonna
mean,
be the
we've
Trevor
already-
Lawrence game.
we've already talked about Carter's insane game locks because we could see them. But if you'd like to care to read all your game locks,
Oh, I would.
please.
Okay.
Wait, you have like 7 on here, 6,
6. Listen,
dude.
I felt a little
Gabe
bit
has
behind
6 too.
last week.
Mhm.
I'm feeling good about these picks. Okay. So number 1, I got the 49ers over the Falcons. Falcons stink. Niners are hot. Playoff implications. Falcons run defense is terrible. And San Francisco likes to run the ball a little bit. Cardinals versus Lions. I don't need to explain that. Cowboys versus Giants. I'm not explaining that. Dolphins versus Jets. Dolphins are very hot right now. And if they want any hope of any chance of squeaking out the 7th seed, which they probably don't have, but I mean, they're not going to tell themselves that. They need to win games like this. It's that simple. So I think they're going to wallop the Jets. And I think they're going to very much overwhelm Zach Wilson in this game. I got the Bills over the Panthers.
But Cam Newton's back.
Well, then I feel even more confident. Bills over Panthers. Cam Newton. The Panthers are they're really bad right now. That's all there is to it. McCaffrey's out for the year.
In the game you're gonna lose right next.
I don't see a way that the Bills lose this game. And my favorite, and also the most
The one that's
risky-
gonna make you lose.
Yeah, it's the one I feel the worst about, but it's still my favorite. I have the all the way back Kansas City Chiefs beating the Chargers on Thursday Night Football.
At that point, you might as well just pick every single game. Like you're already gonna lose with this Chiefs one. So I mean,
I
might as well just
absolutely
tack
am.
on every. You're not
I
gonna get any
absolutely am
points.
not. The Chiefs are the better team. They are very hot right now, and they lost to the Chargers the first time. They're not going to get swept. They just aren't.
They're a pseudo good team that beat nobodies.
They beat the
And-
Cowboys,
I told you they had no receivers.
but they still beat
Thank
the
you.
Cowboys. They held them to 9 points. They beat the Raiders by a combined what was it? 89-23.
do you know who also beat the Cowboys? The Broncos.
89,
And they also had the
23.
receivers that game. So
89-23 in 2 games against a division rival. Come on.
against a coachless team. Okay.
Mahomes owns the AFC West.
Mm-mm. Well, if that was the case, then why did they lose to the Chargers in
was one-
week 2?
It was one game, bro. Patrick Mahomes, he lost.
He
one game.
dominated that game.
He is
can-
19-3 against the AFC West in his career.
Okay.
He
the thing
owns
is,
them.
okay, this is a change it here. Patrick Mahomes had a chance to come back and get a comeback victory touchdown against the Chargers. What did he do? Threw the worst interception I've ever seen in my life on
You
the
need to
very
you
first
need to watch
play.
some more 49er games if that's the worst interception you've ever seen, man.
It was bad. He well overthrew into triple coverage. Like it was bad.
Wasn't that on 4th
He's not
down
gonna
though?
lose. No, it was on third.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
It was on like third. It was bad. But okay. Gabe, if
Chiefs.
you like to do yours.
Chiefs are back.
Yeah. So most of mine are similar to Carter's. I have 49ers over Falcons. Don't really need to explain that. Cowboys over Giants. Dolphins over Jets. I could see out of all of these, I think the most likely one to have an upset on is the Jets. And Michael Carter's back this week as well. I honestly think he's going to develop into a game changer for him. I have the Cardinals over the Lions, Bills over the Panthers. Carter kind of hit it home there for Bills over Panthers. Cam is horrible. One I'm surprised that you guys didn't do. I'm taking Cleveland over the Raiders. Now, and the Browns are 5.5 favorites. Honestly, I'm smashing.
Baker's
that.
not playing though.
Oh
We'll take
no.
it. Their run. I mean, Case Keenum to Baker Mayfield. There's a little bit of.
There's not really a
there.
drop off there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
nearly
I
the same
mean,
quarterback.
Or do you really think even if Baker was healthy that we're gonna throw the ball?
There's
against
one
the
that's
Raiders?
5 and one that's number 6. The only difference.
Yeah, I mean Chubb and Dearness Johnson. Those guys are gonna go off in this game. So those are my 6. I do feel very, very, very confident Browns over Raiders.
Gabe, just
Okay.
out of curiosity, if you could pick the Chargers or Chiefs this week, who are you taking?
Chiefs.
Yes.
You guys are both dumb for thinking that. For mine, I got the Cowboys over the Giants. That's a no-brainer in my opinion. I mean, that was the one game that I said the Cowboys are definitely going to win. So the Cardinals over the Lions, DeAndre Hopkins or not, they're winning that game. Like, they're not going to lose 2 straight, especially after losing they're not going to lose to the Lions. And I put the Chargers over the Chiefs because I wanted to match Carter, and he knows that he's already shivering. You could tell that he's going to lose all of those points.
I feel good, man.
I watch when the Chargers beat the Chiefs. I am going to be laughing so hard. I will be trolling you
Here's the
hard.
thing. In a fantasy league, I have a $50 buy-in to. I have Mahomes and Herbert. So even if the Chargers win and they both go off
Watch
a little
Mahomes
bit,
had like 5 interceptions that game.
I'll be okay with it. But if it's anything less than a crazy shootout, then the Chiefs better win.
I like how you're saying that like the Chiefs are hot when the Chargers didn't they beat the I don't know if it was all in a row, but they beat the Steelers, they beat the Bengals, which are pretty good this year, and they absolutely obliterated the Giants. Like,
they beat the Bengals by more than they beat the Giants.
Yeah,
but
like
before that Steelers game, they lost to the Vikings, and right after that Steelers game, they got blown out by the Broncos.
Yeah, but beating the Bengals is much more competitive than the last games that the Chiefs have been playing. Like, what? I would take the Bengals over the Raiders all the time. Like,
what'd you say, Gabe?
I said just say that you're in love with the Colts because the Chargers are really hot right now too.
Dude,
what does that have to do with the Colts?
You were saying they were hot also. I mean, if the Colts are hot, the Chargers are hot.
Yeah.
I think the Colts are a bit hotter.
Well, of course, if they're going to go to the Super Bowl, they got to be hot.
That's true.
But
the Colts are definitely hotter, bro. They've won 6 of 8.
Man, I already know the title of this. It's gonna be something with Carter and the Colts.
In the last 8 games, the Chargers.
Oh, the Deebo Samuel thing. You forgot to mention the Deebo Samuel.
Hold on. In the last 8 games, the Chargers are 4-4. In the last 8, the Colts are 6-2. So how are they the same level of hotness?
Yeah, but the Chargers have Justin Herbert and the Colts have
Carson Wentz is a very good quarterback.
Yeah, but he's not playing like it.
He is not on Justin Herbert's level.
I never said that.
He's
right.
You just said he's a great quarterback.
I said very good.
After you said
very good.
You said very good right after I said Justin Herbert versus Carson Wentz. So
you didn't say that.
You implied that. I literally said I said one has Justin Herbert and one has Carson Wentz. And you said Carson Wentz is a really good quarterback.
He is. He's playing awesome. So I'm just saying quarterback won't be the downfall of the Colts. He's
Are you sure you're not a Colts fan and not instead of a 49ers fan?
I like the Colts. I do. I defend my takes. They are very hot right now.
Man, dude, I feel like that's more ridiculous than my Washington football team winning out now. I mean, I'm
No,
just
that
saying.
that was maybe the most ridiculous thing I've heard all year, actually.
Yeah, well, we'll see when the Colts get knocked out in the first round. But
Your
anyways.
prediction's already dead. So what do you mean we'll see?
winning
You
out
said-
from now
You
on.
said they were going
From
to
now
win
on.
out, and they
Yeah,
lost
from
the
now on.
first.
Now he's
game.
just preying on your downfall.
Yeah. Anyways, we've ran on for 30 minutes more than we normally do. Oh my goodness.
We're not going on the radio. Who cares?
Yeah. Anyways,
All right. Well, anyway, that is about all the time we have for today's
did he freeze?
of
Is
Adam,
it me
Gabe,
that
and I. We
froze?
want to say thank you
Okay.
for listening to the Sports and Stuff show. What?
For some reason, we all like that froze for me. I don't know why. Okay,
Oh.
just redo it. Just redo it.
Okay. That's about all the time we have for today's episode. On behalf of Adam, Gabe, and I, we want to say thank you for listening to the Sports and Stuff show. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Sports and Stuff Show, on Twitter at SNS_show, and on TikTok at Sports and Stuff Show. Also, make sure you listen to the future episodes every Friday. We won't be on the University Pulse for a few weeks, but we will be on YouTube and a bunch of other podcast platforms like Spotify, and that will be on Fridays. Will it still be 12 to 1 on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, so 12 to 1 on YouTube and then on podcast platforms after that. Thank you again, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.